I'm pissed. I don't know how else to say this. This world is so fucking gone. There's no hope. There's no reason to be the Messiah in this world. There isn't. There's no reason for your Jesus to come back or Muhammad to even say the things that he said. What's the point? You're all selfish. Every single one of you are selfish people. You only care about your own success. I got a notification from my mother's Ring system on my phone because I monitor it for her. And somebody is calling someone a thief because they came up to their house to get water from their spigot. They're calling them a water thief. Is this the Jesus you believe in? Is this the God of your world? Is this what Muhammad wanted? For you all to just sit back and allow hell to take over the world and you do nothing because you believe when you die you're going to go to some special place in the sky? There is no special place. That special place was right here on this earth. Every single one on this earth means something. We have a purpose. What's that purpose? To take care of each other, to take care of this world, to take the resources and multiply them. And when we have such an abundance, to share that abundance with the rest of the universe. But instead, we fight over power, money, greed. And where does that get us? Oh, sure, we're pretty far advanced in society. But I tell you, if those things were out of the way and we were going by the will of nature, or as someone call the will of God. And why do I say God? Because the will of God is the will of science. See, you religious people separate God from science when everything around you is built from a very smart scientist who used his technology of nothing but molecules that were in the consciousness to create this system of life so that you can breathe, touch, feel. So when scientists tell you, hey, we need to quit operating society like this because it's not sustainable. These leaders of the world go to these accords, they go to these meetings and they talk about sustainability. But they're not talking about earth sustainability or everyone's life sustainability. No, they're talking about sustainability of power. If we think like God thinks, he built this world perfect. And somehow it got messed up. But one of the main things we're supposed to do is take care of and be a good steward of the things that God gave us through science. So we can look at it scientifically and advance our brains enough to fix the problems that were created long before us. Instead, right now, we're creating more problems for everything. Everything. Both the glaciers that they said were going to fall off the Arctic, bam, they fell off last year. One last year, one this year, something like that. They're both gone. They're both slowly melting away into the ocean, raising it by several, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Radius, 2-foot radius around the world, however much that is, 6 feet or whatever. But it's going to raise it. And it's going to heat the earth up more. The problem is that through science, we know that there's a perfect balance for our atmosphere to work correctly. So we don't end up like Venus or Mars. Science knows this. God knows this. So why does everyone who claims to believe in God go contrary to science that was given to us by God or the conscious? That's what I believe. I believe that in the conscious is the creator of all things, because without consciousness, there would be no observance of all things. So the conscious had to have come first to observe any reality of life. And that's just what I know. I mean, I believe in science 100%. I believe that this universe was created scientifically. However you want to look at that, it is somehow this consciousness that has spread itself throughout this universe to create this universe where there's consciousness in every atom and molecule that exists. Because, well, they wouldn't do the things they did unless they knew they needed to do them. Meaning, a magnet's only going to have certain properties because the properties of a magnet are doing what they need to do to make a magnet. And if that, whatever that consciousness is, and I'm not talking nonsense, I mean, Carl Sagan, very smart guy. You know, as we say, consciousness isn't everything. Everything has to have consciousness because he believes consciousness, even the smallest molecule is conscious. And that makes sense. Everything is made up of atoms. And so when you get down to the very, very nitty gritty and there's nothing there to observe anymore, all there is consciousness. But anyways, if we would use our consciousness, we would open up our minds to see that the way we are living, the way we are allowing those in control to run this society and the comfortabilities that we have in this society is causing society to collapse around us. You know, for the first time in a while, countries are banning the United States dollar. You know, things like that. And what are we concerned about? Whether or not this guy can drink from my fucking hose because I have a house and pay the water bill. How dare this homeless guy with 2 shoes and yada yada yada, you know, drink from my water spigot. How dare he be thirsty? How dare I be low enough to feed him or give him drink? And most of you who do this, who post on the Ring and things like that, all have some religious backing with a prophet that tells you not to live that way. To help the poor, take care of the needy. Those are God's people, the oppressed. Trust me, if you live in a house and you have food and you have the money to buy a lock for your spigot, you are not oppressed. You are the oppressor. Because you are not doing anything to help that man. You're locking him out of his basic needs. And I hate this world. Your divine messenger, the Millennial Messiah, Jeremiah Michael. Over and out.